Welcome to The Most Important Thing. I'm Danielle DeMarco Neufeld,
And I'm Greg Neufeld.
and together we're exploring how high-performing families build culture at home.
Join us as we distill meaty topics into digestible, actionable experiments that we can all try with our families.
Because, after all, family is the most important thing.
Sure is, Danielle.
So let's dig in, shall we?
Yes, let's
All
dig
right.
in.
In 2013, New York Times family columnist Bruce Feiler wrote a best-selling book on the secrets of happy families, in which he presented over 200 practical strategies to enhance family life. But the most important thing? Weekly family meetings. In fact, Bruce even states weekly family meetings quickly became the single most impactful idea we introduced into our lives since the birth of our children.
That's a big statement.
It's a big statement, especially for somebody who literally wrote the book on happy families.
He sure did.
So after reading that, I wanted to suggest that we run this as an experiment.
Okay.
Okay?
Family meetings.
Family meetings.
We can do this.
All right. So I dug into some research. I didn't want to just take Bruce's advice.
Mm-hmm.
So I set out to research who else is talking about this tool and what patterns or ideas consistently show up and would be actionable for a young family. And I came up with a 3-ingredient recipe.
All right.
Do it consistently, keep it short, and focus on fun. Sound
I
doable
like
so
it.
far?
I think we can do those things.
Okay, cool. So let's unpack what those mean together and feel free to pressure test me.
Okay.
First thing, do it consistently. What this really comes down to is ritual. What I learned is that kids and adults alike will learn to expect this time. I personally already, just knowing that we, now that you've said yes, are going to have a family meeting this weekend, love this idea of making space for things that may come up during the week that we don't necessarily have time to talk about in the moment. Actually, for this, the most actionable tip that I read was to post a piece of paper publicly where family members can jot down things that they come up with that can be considered as agenda items for the family meeting.
It's very cute. I love that you did that. You use double-sided tape, single-sided?
I use masking tape so that we can
Masking
have one
tape.
every week.
I love you. I love you for not using
I know,
double-sided
because
tape.
you'd be the one that would get upset about the walls. So
Mm-hmm.
there's that.
Well, massive action taker, my wife, puts those sheets there immediately after reading this book. So it means that we're already looking at the 3-ingredient recipe as something that we're going to tackle ASAP, right?
I mean, why would delay?
That's right.
Once I learn something, I put it into action. You know that.
Yes.
Okay, second, keep it short. Everyone seems to have different views on the agenda, and I'll link to some specific ideas in the show notes because some of them I think are great.
Mm-hmm.
But it's consistently suggested to keep it simple, especially at first, and avoid tackling too much too soon. 3, focus on fun. The third and final ingredient is be silly and have fun. So end the meeting with a dopamine boost, whether that's a snack or a quick game or a story or maybe all 3.
Sounds good. We can do that.
And then just a quick aside on some things to avoid.
Mm-hmm.
And number 1 is a biggie for me. To avoid letting the parents take over the meeting. After all, this is about fostering team mentality and belonging. It's not about parenting.
Yeah, slippery slope. We're not talking about who did what this week and how we can correct that. This is a family meeting to build the habit of having family meetings and starting with things that are manageable that are going to be fun for everybody.
Mm-hmm. And 2, don't give up if the first meeting doesn't go well. Change the name, change the time, change the agenda, but just keep going.
Yeah, changing the name's actually interesting. I saw that you downstairs wrote down a couple of alternatives. I think that's pretty smart. Family meeting for me shows up as like exactly the things to avoid, which is like family meeting.
Yeah, well, when you look up family meeting, oftentimes like the only literature, like true academic research I found about it is about like intergenerational family wealth. That's a
Sure.
whole nother topic, you know, when they have like the annual family meeting. That is not what we're going for here. Let's talk about what we are going for.
Yes.
So I proposed this and I didn't really tell you why, other than that Bruce Feiler said it's the most important thing. I think that it comes down to 2 things for me. It comes down to giving our children a voice, because I know that you and I have very strong voices, and setting aside a time that we can grow into as a family.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to be short right now, and hopefully it will never be too long. But when things do come up, I want to make sure that we already have that time set aside. This is the same thing in business, right? It's like if you want to build connection with a coworker or a relationship in your industry, what do? You set a reoccurring time to talk because then you know that that is there. And if it's a relationship worth fostering, you will absolutely have things to talk about.
Yep. No, I love it. So how do we make this actionable?
Great question. My favorite question. So the ethos here is minimum viable product and developmentally appropriate execution. So for us, we have kids that are 7, 5, and 3. I was just thinking about my age. I'm almost 39. Whew. It's great. And so our minimum viable product is really minimum viable product. So shall we go through our agenda? Because you and I, we spent a little bit of time brainstorming about how this agenda can roll. And the first thing that we decided was we're going to try a drum roll, which is, what would you call it, Greg? A building upon drum roll, where we'll see if it gets any traction. But basically a call to order, some kind of call to order that's fun and moves your body. Yeah. And then the next part, this was your suggestion.
Yeah. So compliments and appreciation.
So I think the idea with compliments and appreciation is starting the meeting in a space of gratitude, right?
Yeah.
Gratitude is the ideal soil. This comes directly from Positive Parenting Solutions by Amy McCready. She suggests everyone goes around and gives a compliment or appreciation to every member of the family.
Oh, okay.
That sounds great in theory. I don't see us being able to execute that. So I would like to suggest that, again, minimum viable product. Let's not give compliments to each person. Let's just say one nice thing. So that's what we're going to try. And then we get into the meat of the agenda. So as Greg mentioned, on Monday, I posted a piece of paper in the kitchen that says family meeting topics. And I did remember to add one tip from the literature that suggested that if you're going to bring a problem, you need to bring at least 1 to 2 solutions as well. But as I am a person who consistently finds faults and flaws in things, in myself and in others, in an effort to improve, I immediately started writing down things that our family could do better. So there are quite a few in that list.
Which is going to set the culture of the meeting if we go that way.
Yeah, womp, but at least I know that about myself. Step 1. But then you had a great reframe, as you usually do.
Well, I thought that I was trying to go advanced mode by saying,
as you usually do,
let's go through one of our family values and either tell a story about it or talk about it or explain how, somebody lived up to those values or how we want it. Anyway, I think we can dumb it down a little bit and just make it more fun. And it can be something that we all want to learn about. Right?
Yeah. So that was my idea.
Yeah.
So as usual, you went advanced mode, but at least in a positive direction, which I so appreciate. And so I think, where we came to the light bulb here for the meat of the agenda is that in addition to things that come up, like arguments or trouble getting started, invariably, everyone in our family has something they want to learn about this week. And so making sure that we write those down too. So already this week that's come up is like, why do grizzly bears eat salmon in the river? And can we learn more about that? Why in certain parts of the earth is it daylight most of the day in the summer and they have the darkest winters? So the kids love an excuse to turn on a quick YouTube video, and then I love an excuse to talk about them afterwards. Mm-hmm. So really writing those down as they come up during the week and then voting on one of those, that's the part of the meeting I'm most excited about, and we'll see how it goes.
I love that. So drum roll, compliments and appreciation, and then one learning.
One learning.
One family learning.
One family learning.
Vote on that from the list.
Vote on that from the list.
Awesome.
And then one problem to solve.
One problem to solve.
As a team. This is, I could tell you from the literature, it says use this as an opportunity to skill build as far as communication and negotiation. I think the important thing is that everyone is involved in talking about the problem and coming up with the solution and building agreement around that. So that's what we will try.
I actually don't see an issue with the problem solving and the solution. I see the biggest issue with these kids is going to be on the voting. right? Because if somebody doesn't get what they
Ooh,
want,
how should voting work?
exactly. But I think that we could probably do the voting ahead of time and
Absolutely.
where we're saying, okay, this is what we're doing, as opposed to vote on a couple of topics in real time, which will create a minor calamity, if not something bigger.
Great point. So if we're planning on having our meeting on Sunday morning,
Yep.
maybe on Saturday, we should vote on the topics because we usually have a bit of time at second breakfast on Saturdays
Yeah,
and Sunday mornings. So maybe that's what we'll plan to do.
that sounds good.
Okay, deal.
Yeah, we'll do it during daylight hours.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'll write it down.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. And then you said that we were going to follow up the problem solve with some fun stuff, right? So
Yeah, I think a snack
yeah.
is usually great. And one tip I heard is to have the youngest member of the family serve snack.
Oh,
Very cute.
nice.
And then end with some type of dopamine boost. So hopefully, maybe it's a snack in a game, a snack in a story, a snack in a dance party,
Yeah,
something like that. But just ending on a high note that brings everybody together.
that sounds great. And so we'll start Sunday at around 9 a.m.
Yeah.
Okay. And we'll post our agenda and anything that we modify to that in the
For
show
sure.
notes.
Come and let you know how it goes.
Yeah, okay. So we have boiled down and distilled family meetings into something that we can try and something that I think everyone can try. But the key here is to be consistent, have fun, and what was the third thing?
Keep it short.
Keep it short. All right. Any reason in particular why family meetings are so impactful and might be the most important thing?
I think it goes back to this family as a team vibe. And I'm thinking about a quote that I recently heard from Esther Wojcicki around not telling the kids what to do all the time, giving them an opportunity to come up with their own ideas. And I think that it's very important as we enter this kid phase to make space for the whole family to have a voice and have fun together.
I love it.
Thanks. One thing that's really important to me is to foster connection between every member of our family.
Agreed.
And it's certainly, when we talk about family being the most important thing, absolutely in our day to day, but really when we're gone. I want our kids to be able to have strong bonds and core memories of us operating as a team.
Yeah. Now that's the real deep stuff. That's why we're in it to win it.
That's why we're being intentional about it. That's why we're doing this, right? Because if we dedicate time and space, and you and me, if we have a broader purpose to do these things, we will do them well.
Yep.
I think we've really got a good start, Greg. I think we've really got a good start.
I
But
think
we
so
can
too.
always do better. And attention energizes, but intention transforms. So that's why I'm showing up today.
I love it. I love you.
I love you. Love you, Goosey.
Love you, Goosey.